What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Pacheco AMC, and today I have a very special guest, Mr. Carlos Sosa, 2 times Power Glove Chicago Tournament champion, 1-time winner of the Golden Glove Tournament. Today we're going to be asking him some boxing questions and some personal questions about his life and how he runs things. He is a very good boxer, a very talented boxer from what I witnessed. He's a very savage, a monster, and he knows what he's doing. Now, Mr. Sosa, please explain yourself to the fans.
How's it going, everybody? It's Carlos Sosa from AMC, and today we're here at the Golden Wall. And yeah, based off what he's saying, I'm here to explain what's going on in my career, what's going on in general in my boxing professional career, that's in my future career. Right now I got a lot of things coming up. I'm working on the Nationals, which is coming up in March. And my professor, Coach Mercedes, he has me doing a lot of things, but I'm focused, I'm dedicated to the sport of boxing. I put everything aside to focus myself on boxing. There's some things that you gotta, put to the side just to focus yourself and maintain yourself, with what you want to do for your future. So it's really not hard to
Now, Mr. Sosa, I would like to ask you a question, on the topic of, you being a 2 times Power Glove. I want to talk about your fights, and I was wondering how many fights do you have on your record right now?
16 amateur fights. With what you were saying about the Power Gloves, 2 times champion and Golden Gloves, I won that as a tournament in Hutchins, Kansas.
Yeah. And I was wondering, what is your mindset going into these fights? What do you do to prepare yourself to go to war in the ring? It's you and one other person, and only one person can win. What do you mentally do to prepare yourself?
Well, my professor, I'm already ready for the fight. My professor gets me ready. I just go in there to dominate. They ask me what is my goals for the fight. And I say just to hit him in the nose, the chin, and the head.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm wondering, because you referred to Mr. Mercedes as a professor, how come you refer to him as a professor?
Well, because a lot of people say coach, a lot of people say teacher, but a professor is somebody who is on top of the game, who knows what they're talking about. It's a college. Professor, he's the professor of this college, AMC Boxing Academy. We call it a college over here. And we're students of the game. I refer to him as a professor.
Absolutely. Now, I want to discuss a little more about your life outside of boxing. As a boxer, what do you tend to do on your spare time, or how do you prepare yourself when a fight is going to come up?
Really just trying to rest as much as possible. Outside of the gym, I don't really, try to be around too many people. I stay to myself, I like staying to myself. Outside of here, you have associates, you got a couple of friends, but you gotta really stay to yourself because of the simple fact that you wanna focus as much as you can on what you got coming up. A lot of people don't understand it. So I like to just stay to myself.
I understand. And what is it that made you want to come to AMC? Did you ever go to any other gyms?
No. My uncle got me into this sport at the age of 7. And, there's a lot of trials and tribulations that's going on, in life. And I'm not talking about, as of right now. I'm talking about in the past. In the past, it was a lot of trials and tribulations to get to where I'm at today. It made me who I am today. Everything that happened in the past, I leave that in the past. You can't go back, you can't time travel, none of that. So I'm only focused on what I got going on here right now and in the future.
I understand that, and you know, I heard that you mentioned your uncle. You know, what was your relationship like with him?
Man, the best. I could say that's like a father figure to me. You know, a real father figure, because he pushed me to do more of everything. He pushes me every day, motivates me every day, and he's the main reason I'm here. You know.
And that's you know, that's wonderful to hear that you have a great relationship with your uncle, that he's able to motivate you, and that, you know, without him you wouldn't be here, and we would have never had a great boxer like yourself. And you know, when I notice you boxing, you know, I tend to see that you like to stomp on the canvas. And I was wondering, why is it that you stomp on the floor?
That's just, you know, a technique I use, a little feint. You know, I only use that sometimes. I use it mainly as a goal to see where they're gonna, you know, move to, how they're moving in the ring. It's just really just a little technique. Like if I'm just trying to intimidate them, you know. It's how it works in boxing. A lot of people use that.
And so you know, what I consider is you like to use mind games when it comes to boxing. You like to use feints, and you like to set it up so that you get that perfect powerhouse.
Yes, sir.
And because of that, you know, I think of you, what I notice as like a counter fighter.
Yeah, you could say that.
And you know, I was wondering, like, what do you think of yourself as a boxer? You know, what type of styles do you like to use?
Well, as a boxer myself, I use every type of style. You know, my professor shows me every type of style, because when you go into a fight, you never know what type of style they got. So he shows me everything that I can know, so I can deal with it in the ring.
Mm-hmm. And how old are you again?
I'm 19 years old. Yes, sir.
And so I was wondering, how do you support yourself outside of boxing? Because, you know, we all know that amateurs don't tend to make a lot of money when it comes to their rise up. So how do you support yourself outside of boxing? Do you work, or, you know, do you have, you know, people who tend to help you, or?
Yeah. So basically, you really just need enough money for gas money to come to the gym, and your boxing clothes. And I'm not really worried about money right now, because I know in the future, if I focus on my craft, stay dedicated to my craft, as my uncle once said, stay dedicated to your craft. In the future, there's a lot waiting.
And that's totally understandable. You know, most amateurs, you know, when they do make it to the big leagues and they have this nice personality that the fans love, and they love to watch them because they have such a unique style and a very entertaining style. You know, it's what really, you know, what really makes them the money is their personality wise, and their dedication to, and their love to the sport. And I totally understand what you mean by, when you dedicate your craft in the future, it will pay off indeed. Because if you want to, you will get it done. You know, and that's, a lot of people don't tend to, you know, believe in that. But in reality, if say you want to do it and then you don't do it, you know, that means you never wanted it to happen in the first place. And I could tell that you really want this to work out. You really want to become a professional boxer, and you want to be a world champion. You know, I feel like you want your name to be immortalized. You know, everybody to know you. You know, you want your name to be talked at every table during the dinner time. And you know, like, what do you think about that personally?
You took the words right out of my mouth. But personally, based off what you just said, yeah, I'm just really trying to be up there with the top dogs and prove myself worthy of everything. You know, I want to be up there. I want to be legendary. I want to work towards everything I can accomplish, meaning I want my name to be in the books. I want my name to go down as Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I was wondering, how does Mr. Coach Mercedes how does he prepare you for the future that is going to come? You know.
He prepares us not only with boxing, but as being businessmen outside of the sport. There's a lot of things he shows us that nobody's behind the cameras. He shows us a lot. You know, it's only a few people in his circle that know what he's doing. Mr. Coach Mercedes, he's been there, done that. He knows the game, and I'm a student of the game. So I'm here to just learn, pay attention, sit back and observe.
Mm-hmm. And you know, Mr. Coach Mercedes, he loves to post on his social media. He loves to talk about his trainers, his fighters, and you know, he loves to talk about how AMC is the #1 gym in Milwaukee because AMC Boxing Gym is a very well-known gym in the community.
Yes,
and you know, I was wondering, what makes it that you think it's the #1 place to go?
In the Midwest, there's a lot of gyms. There's a lot of boxing gyms. They're open, public, you know. And this is a private facility. There's a lot of boxers that come here with only the mindset of, oh, they wanna just get some work in, they just wanna, you know. But in this gym specifically, you really only come here to be the greatest. Like, if you really come here, you stay focused,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see why this is named one of the best gyms in the Midwest. You know, it's really hard to say, but if you come here and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. And you know, from the experience that I've been here and I've been training here, I feel like I've improved a lot in many ways, and that Mr. Coach Mercedes personally has helped me a lot.
Yes, sir.
And you know, he's helped me with my thought process, you know, how to handle situations, you know, how to think through things properly and how to control my emotions in the short span of time that I've been here.
Yes, sir.
And I feel like coming here was probably one of the best decisions of my life. You know, when I first came here at the open sparrings on Saturdays, you know, I came here thinking, oh, you know, I know what I'm doing. You know, I'm him, you know, I can do that shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, when I came here, I was very much humbled. You know, I saw the reality of what boxing is, and that reality is, you know, not a lot of people see because, you know, through social media, boxing is all partying and having fun, but they don't really go behind, you know, the hard work, the dedication, you
Exactly.
know, the days that you get beat up on.
Exactly.
And, you know, when I came here, you know, Mr. Alan Fuentes, you know, they really worked me, and it really humbled me, and it really showed me a whole new world on what boxing really is, you know?
Yeah. That, you just took the words right out of my mouth. Like what you asked me before, saying is, you know, one of the top boxing gyms in the Midwest. When you come here, you'll see, you know, sometimes you have to get humbled just to, you know, improve.
Mm-hmm.
And being here, you're only gonna improve. You're not gonna downgrade. You're not gonna go down steps. You're only going up. You're only, you know, it's like an elevator. You press up, you go up. You come to this gym, you're going up. That's like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's the best gym you could ever be at.
Mm-hmm. And you know, that's awesome to hear. You know, I when I came here, I wasn't really expecting you know, this type of information to be given to me, and coming here is like a great thing. And you know, meeting you it's an amazing opportunity to be able to meet you and to see how you do things and how you train. And you know, on the top of that, you know, I want to understand more of what do you do when you come here. You know, what is more of your training regimen? You know, how do you train? How do you get ready?
Well, every day you get better. So I look at it as just show up, come here, do whatever the professor says, and when you're done, go home, rest, and do the same thing. Box, eat, sleep, and repeat.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I've noticed from what I've been here, Mr. Mercedes is very big on discipline. and very big on respect. You know, what are your thoughts on him preaching that and him trying to teach that?
That's one of the main reasons a lot of people don't know is discipline. That's one of the main reasons I say, you know, he shows us a lot on how to be businessmen and how to, you know, goes outside of boxing. You know, it's discipline. You know, discipline with your way of life, discipline with your way of eating, discipline with how you control your circle. You gotta really know. You gotta really listen to Coach Mercedes to know how things like that work.
And you know, on the topic, you know, I'm wondering, what do you do, you know, to keep yourself disciplined when you're outside of the gym, when you don't have Mr. Coach Mercedes around to be there to keep you in line, you know, when you're all out there all alone, you know,
Yeah.
and you're there to make your own decisions that can lead to very bad consequences.
Yeah, great question. Great question. It's really just having a grown mindset. It's, you know, I was a little childish before, but the more I listen to Coach Mercedes, my bad, the more growth the more growth I you know have towards my discipline, you know, towards what I got going on outside of the gym. Yeah, it's just really going up. It's nothing else. It's really going up. You know, trying to maintain.
And you know, I also, you know, I want to learn a little bit more about you on a personal level. And you know, I want to ask, you know, how was your childhood like? You know, were you like a kid that always moved around a lot, or you know, were you always here in Wisconsin?
No, I was always here in Wisconsin. Growing up, I really only grew up around boxing. I'm not gonna lie. Growing up around boxing made me who I am today, if I'm being honest. And growing up in general, you gotta have that vision. You want to follow the leader for the simple fact, if the leader is taking you to the top, you want to go to the top with the leader. Meaning, Coach Mercedes is on the way to the top. All I want to do is be at the top. That's why I always, as a child, you know, I was running around crazy. You know, stuff happens, a lot of trials and tribulations, but you know, when you're focused on something, you're really focused, then the sky's the limit. That's really all I can say, you know. In boxing, I took a little time off, you know. Growing up, you know, little childish things, you know, stuff that happens in life. But I'd say Coach Mercedes, he motivated me to get to where I'm at today. And I've been working hard, you know. I've been coming to the gym. Like I said, every day is 1% better.
Absolutely, and you know, I think about it. You know, when I speak to Mr. Mercedes, you know, I feel like if you're able to show him the discipline and respect that you have, I feel like he'll definitely be able to, you know, to take you to the top, and you'll be able to accomplish great things with him because he knows the ins and outs. You know, he's been there, you know, and all he wants to do is just to show you that, you know, if you're able to give him what he asked for.
Right.
And you know, you tend to bring up Mr. Coach Mercedes a lot. Do you think that he had a huge impact in your life as well?
Of course. You know, that's really the only person I look up to nowadays, you know. He's my #1 influencer, so I really appreciate him for that.
Alrighty, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was nice talking to you. Everybody, it's here, Mr. Pacheco with Mr. Carlos Sosa, AMC. It was great talking to you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this. Was that good?